Hi Bailey! Today is our second recording. How do you feel?
Kind of feeling mixed emotions right now. I'm not even sure why I'm here again.
Bailey, say hi to the cat.
Please, leave me alone.
Guess not. You look so unwilling today. Welcome back to Unhinged.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about a topic which we talked about recently during one of our longer podcasts on Men on a Mission. Do we choose a lifestyle business or do we choose an exit intent business?
Well, the question is, do we really choose at all?
Well, we will talk more about this. So I thought this is quite an interesting topic to share because it is a topic that it's always very popular when we bring up during panel discussion or when we bring up during our own discussion about business friends as well.
Yeah.
The question being, do I start a business and keep it as a lifestyle business? Meaning I will do it all the way until as far as I can and I try to systemize it, maybe even try to hire a general manager to take over certain parts and I just become dormant chairman or dormant CEO? Or do I build a business with the intent to exit or even IPO in the future?
Whatever would supply my treats, Mom.
Yeah, and it's always quite interesting because when we speak to different business owners, they all have different answers. And everyone has a different take or perspective on it. So what did the podcast guests share?
We know the podcast panelists personally, one of which is Annie Yap, who is the CEO of AYP Group, with the intent to eventually IPO the business, right? Whereas on the other hand is Patrick Chow of Khoo Learning Technologies, and he has done this business for close to 20 years or more. I can't remember the exact number, right? But
It's 23
he's very
years,
clear that it's a
Mom.
lifestyle business. He don't intend to sell. He has even tried selling or structuring to sell before, but it didn't work out the way he wanted to. So now he's at the stage where he decided, okay, I will keep it as a lifestyle business.
So I guess in the first place, when you're talking about exit intent, right? Exit intent has a few meanings. You're saying Annie, whom I had the honor to be part of her coaching before, she intends to IPO. Whereas when we talk about Patrick, on the other hand, he tried getting buyers to buy. It didn't happen.
It didn't turn out the way that he wanted.
Right. So even those, when we're talking about exit, in this case, there's like different types of exits as well.
Yeah.
I guess interestingly for me, because I know Annie personally, one thing that really struck me about Annie is what she always says: routine sets you free. So one thing that I've really noticed about people like that is that they have very, very strong discipline. And it also shows in the business as well, in the way the systems and processes are created. So one thing that I remember super strongly was when she opened up her Notion and she showed us all her SOPs of every department listed there with all the SOPs and stuff. So I was like, whoa. And I guess that's part of the processes that you have to put in place if you are looking to get to a stage where you can actually do certain things like IPO or even sell your company, right?
I know Patrick personally as well. So the interesting thing or the long-standing joke is that he only reports to his business once a week.
That must be nice.
And the rest of the days is going to fishing or do his favorite hobby, right? So that was quite interesting. There's a big contrast here
This is getting more interesting.
between the nature of the way the business is run.
I'm paying attention now, Mom.
So for Annie, she's very disciplined, systemized, SOPs, all listed on Notion.
Yeah.
And obviously, she has a big, robust machinery that everyone follows the SOP to the boot, right? So that it can be consistent in terms of the output and the services that they can provide. Whereas for Patrick, his is more lifestyle driven, more leadership, culture driven, right? And the people are there because they love education and they want to teach, right? That's their lifelong passion and dreams.
Yeah, I guess we first have to define what exactly is a lifestyle business in that sense when we're talking about it, right? To me, it is where your business processes, in this case, or the workflows are, because I'm an automation person, right? The workflows are catered around the founder or you as the person who's running it, knowing that intentionally it may not go to a certain scale or a certain level. If you process it or if you systemize it to a bigger extent, you could, but you just don't want to. So I think that is a lifestyle business. What do you think?
I think it's very hard to draw the line very clearly, but I personally think that a lifestyle business is more passion driven.
Oh, okay.
Or rather, it's passion first.
Example?
Exit intent business is market demand first.
Okay.
So I guess there's a difference because recently we also interviewed Owen from Neurogene, right? So one thing I realized is I was trying to ask him, so what's your passion in this? How do you start? What's your origin story? And I realized that he started off with a very clear understanding of what the market needs. And then he created a business out of it, which of course got him to his Series A funding, and you know how the rest of the business would go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to a certain extent and then you sell it into another company or eventually you IPO. So it's a very market demand driven intent. Whereas a lifestyle business is, oh, I love to teach. So I want to do a business out of my teaching skill set. Right? And then from there it grows.
So I guess the starting point is different, right? Because for Owen, what he shared was he spotted something. There was a problem to be solved and there was a addressable market for it, and he went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas for a lot of lifestyle businesses, maybe I would say that probably my first business was a lifestyle business, like magic, because...
Do you know she was a magician? For 15 years of her life.
See pictures.
Yeah.
While we tried to run it as a business, the honest truth is serve the passion more than the processes or the business or thinking about scaling and stuff like that. And it was very tied to skill set and the person involved or the founder involved.
I mean, it can be both, right? Because along the way, when you are in business long enough, somehow if your business has some sort of traction and it serves the need of a bigger entity, then usually they will make an offer. Right? But it's all about the intent, right? So for example, recently we saw the news that AYP Group, which is the company that owns the IP of SGAG, right? They are bought by Publicis, which is what we know as one of the big four marketing advertising firms in the world, right?
That's right.
So when I read a little bit more about the article, I realized that Adrian and the co-founders, they started the business when they were in university, not expecting much. They just wanted to make memes and they want to circulate the internet with memes, right?
Yeah.
And so now or later, that got a bit of traction and it became the SGAG and the AYP Group where it is right now. And after so many years, they finally decided to sell it to a bigger firm.
Yeah.
Right? So it started off as a passion, more lifestyle driven, but eventually they exited.
In a sense, maybe I would say quote unquote lucky. Not saying that there isn't a lot of planning, because for anything to happen when it comes to skill like that, for a company to be bought over by another big company, there is a lot of prep work as well.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of processes still. The same thing, which means that there is some SOPs, processes and stuff in the company that has to be running fluidly. But I guess it's also like how the tides are. Luck in a certain sense, because I cannot imagine from a magic point of view someone getting to a point where there is a buyer. So what we talked about as well, that there was an addressable market.
Yeah, and I think that's very important to have that thought as well, right? I mean, you could always be ready for sale, just like what Patrick said during the podcast itself. You should always be ready for the sale, right? But you know your intent very well. So if your intent is that of a lifestyle business, then you dictate your working hours, you dictate how much revenue you want to earn, and you dictate year on year how much you want to increase. Because if a business is stagnant, the business is dying. So you naturally must have some minimum level of increment, right? To of course account for inflation and to make sure that the market is growing. There's a growing demand for the market, but you know very clearly that, okay, if there's a good offer, why not, right?
Yeah.
And your whole finance is staged for that sale. It's all about naming your price, right?
I guess the market somehow will dictate as well. You could name a super high price. Well, then you probably aren't that well-intentioned to exit, I guess. Yeah.
How about for us running Super C? What thoughts do you have? Do you feel that you're more lifestyle driven or you're more exit driven?
I mean, the starting point of Super C, at least for me, was opportunity. But the opportunity wasn't like, oh, I saw a market, there was an addressable market and there's like one B and we can ride this trend, so on and so forth. It wasn't like that, but it was really that there was a chance to be part of the company
Really, Mom?
and the business. Along the way, of course, then a lot of things happened. So I would say that the starting point, I didn't think so much about it. As we grow, if there is traction, we will definitely steer towards being ready. But I would say that I'm more still inclined on having something that serves my own own lifestyle at the same time. Which is something I guess it's always a question mark. Do we have to choose? Is it a real choice or is it just a made up choice in our mind in that case?
One of our business mentors always
Yeah.
laugh at us and say that we have very luxurious taste
Just like me.
because we choose our customer, right?
Yeah.
Now, in a case where you're trying to go for market size, increase your total addressable market, right? Obviously, this choice of clients is a very luxurious thing. Right, so I started out with the intent that I wanted to learn marketing because I struggled so much in my previous two business. I failed my businesses because I don't know about brand, I don't know about marketing, right? So I started with the idea of learning, right? And that's where I realized that, hey, marketing is quite fun, right? Marketing is related to psychology, which is a subject I really love, and I went out with that. So I didn't have much thoughts about what is your total addressable market, how do you gain traction, how do you find the best team,
At least you got me, right?
right? And how do you technify it? You know, I never had those thoughts. Now that we are independent, because we started from a holding company and now we became independent, right? And that's where we really have to think about, hey, what are we actually doing this business for? Yeah, and that's where we started to have a clearer target market, clearer strategy.
And I'm clearly hungry.
I feel that we're moving more towards the building a business with exit intent.
Yeah. I guess, like I said, tights in time, right? Because you just reversed this 2 years ago. We seriously explored the same topic. I think it was 2 years ago.
Oh,
right?
Was
Remember?
it? I can't recall. Which part?
We talked about it. We actually came to a conclusion that we would not exit the company, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember having that
Yeah.
conversation.
So we actually really seriously went into quite in-depth to talk to different people from even the M&A space and stuff like that. And at that point in time, we actually came to a conclusion that likelihood of us exiting is very low. In fact, we see ourselves holding the business for a long time. Right? It's not saying that we are going to sell off the business and vanish, but it just wasn't.
The main thought.
Yeah, and it did not feel like the business was catering to the market that allows us to be exitable in that sense. Although there is a talk that whether you like it or not, you will be exited, right? What's that saying again?
Either your company die because of the environment, or you die, touch wood, or something happens,
Yeah.
or your competitor takes over.
I mean, in any case, you will exit is whether with well intention or from
Whether you're
your
prepared for it.
intention.
Or you're exited.
Yeah.
I just want to share that I'm ready to exit here too. Just kidding.
So in conclusion, right, well, a lot of business owners think about, should I run it as a lifestyle business or should I run it as eventually having the exit in mind, whether it's IPO or selling to another bigger firm. Yeah, so whichever the case is, I feel that conclusion for myself is that every company, every founder have their own journey, have their own phases in life. Right, you could suddenly decided to form a family. Right, and you decided that you don't want to spend your whole 20 hours a day in the business. Obviously, that will become a lifestyle business, right? Or you decided, hey, in this short sprint of my next 3 years of life, I want to give it a try because I have a dream, I have a goal of exiting to a certain valuation one day. Yeah. So whichever the case is, I think everyone is unique on their own. It's up to the person to decide at the different stages of life where they want to be.
For me, I think firstly, there's no hurry to make a decision per se, unless you're talking about I need to exit like 3 months down the road kind of thing, which
that's
the
being-
process is way longer than that.
Yeah, that's being exited really.
Yeah. There's really no hurry in that sense. There's a journey that as a founder, someone will have to go through. And if you are founder as well, there will be different stages and you will come to probably a different decision. And the second point that I think is also there's no paise in changing your mind from saying that at one point in time I was going for exit and then now I've realized that this suits me better or the other way or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that those are the two things that I would say if you're thinking about exits, those are the things that you can also think of it in terms of your own journey.
The worst thing is to have differing thoughts every 6 months. I think that will put a lot of stress on your team. Can you imagine the 6 months after you do a town hall, everyone's like, okay, exit to the moon, X valuation. Then the next month it's like, I think we should all chill, relax, go back to our families and yeah, like Bailey, right?
Your team members will look like this. Yeah.
That's the end of our Unhinged series. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Finally, farewell, everyone.